Hello everyone. Good morning to you. I am coming Facebook Live at Dusty Trails, doing our regular Wednesday morning video at Dusty Trails at 10 o'clock every Wednesday morning. I'm inside the tack room at the moment, and it's awesome in here, and I'm telling you, the weather is gorgeous out there. But before we get started, today we were thinking about doing some barrel racing out there, some barrel racing and some pole bending, just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do with horses. But it rained here, and it's very, very slick and very, very wet. So we have decided, like regular Girl Scouts, we've changed our thoughts and moving on with what's right in front of us. And we are going to take a tour of the petting zoo today. Dusty Trails not only does horseback riding, which Girl Scouts take great advantage of, but he also does some river trips. You can see he's got all these saddles here. Let me turn this around for you. See, he's got all these paddles and he's got all this stuff. He does kayaks and stuff in addition to all his saddles. Very diversified, Dusty Trails is. And then today I also wanted to show you, I thought this was really fun. While he's working on getting the petting zoo together, I wanted to show you some of the signs that he has around it in his place. Look at that. Yep. I didn't know goats could even get cancer. I know. Alrighty, then we're going to look at some of the, here's my other favorite one. Just wanted to show you this one. Can you read that? It's a lot of sun out today. That's my favorite. I love that one. Alrighty, are you ready? Here we go. We're going to take a tour of the petting zoo that Dusty has. And here, ta-da! There's
Hello,
Dusty.
Good morning. How are you? Are you ready for me to start? It's about 10.
I am so ready. I don't know if they are.
Well, good morning, everybody. A beautiful day. We've had a very nice rain. I think we've had a couple inches of rain in the last few days here. So things are a little bit wet and soggy, but everything is turning green, and it's gorgeous out here right now. You can hear the birds chirping and hardly any breeze at all. Sunshine. It's a great day. So we are going to take you over and see some of the animals. We've introduced you to all the horses at some point, but we haven't talked about the rest of the petting zoo animals. So let's go meet the rest of the petting zoo, shall we?
Let's do.
All right.
I'm ready. We're walking.
We'll go see the chickens to start with. You know, chickens, they don't seem like much fun for a petting zoo animal, but they are everybody's favorite all the time.
They're easily catchable.
Well, it's the challenge of chasing them. And
Oh, gotcha.
I think that's really what it is. We have one school group after another come out, and I'll ask them all the time, what was your favorite animal in the petting zoo? And it's the chickens all the time. But they come in here and they can run around in circles and chase them for a half hour and just try to catch them. The ones that they can catch, they leave alone. It's the ones they can't catch that they like to chase. So, you know.
And they're kind of weird looking too. If you think about what a chicken looks like.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's some people that are just terrified of chickens. It's hilarious.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Just terrified of them. So you wouldn't think that'd be something scary. But they are.
Chicken.
Yes. And we have this really weird looking duck over there too. That's a Muscovy duck. And they all look like that. He's not feeling very well right now.
Aww.
But when they move, they really wiggle their butt a lot, and they usually breathe kind of funny. But he's not feeling very well. We have lots of different chickens in here, different breeds. That's a Rhode Island Red, the red hen right here. Those are beautiful chickens. You notice the ones that have a little bit of missing some feathers across their rump there. That was because the rooster, he tends to pick on them a little bit, but we got rid of the rooster, and within a matter of a few days you can start seeing the little feathers growing back in and filling back in already. And these are one of my favorite chickens right over here. Is this little tiny one.
Aww.
That's an Old English.
Aww.
And they are so cute, and they're sweet. You hold them and they just rest on you, and they'll sit on your shoulder as you walk around. but that's an Old English. I love those chickens.
So cute.
Yes. I wish I could remember some of the other names of these breeds, but I don't remember very well. The light gray ones we've seen over here, those are a lavender.
So Dusty, do you name your chickens? I mean, do they all have names or?
Some of them do, and I don't remember them. Usually whatever group of kids are in here, they name the chickens. And so they have lots of different names all the time. The kids will find a favorite one and they'll name them. Yeah, and I don't remember all their different names. Sometimes we do have some names for them, but I like this little black banty that has the feathers that run clear down its legs. And those are really sweet, nice chickens. We have some new chickens and ducks and turkeys coming that we'll be getting here soon. We'll go to the next pen. We can see our big turkey who's strutting his stuff right there. Oh, he might put his feathers away when we go in there. So can you see him in there?
Yeah, I do. He is so pretty. A white turkey.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's really puffed up. I have some red and white turkeys coming that are beautiful turkeys. I'm anxious to get them. But old Tom there, he's trying to show off all his stuff right now.
I didn't know there was such a thing as a pure white turkey like that. Is that like a breed?
It is a breed, yeah. Don't know where it come from or anything, but it's a domestic breed. He looks so huge when he's all puffed up, which he is a big turkey. He really is. When
Yeah.
he catch you, he's a big. What a neat call, huh?
In among the chickens at Dusty Trails.
Right behind you, Bee, you've got one that's got a big old, looks like a puffy hairdo on top of her head there. Look at that big old hairdo.
Yeah, that's what my hair looks like now that I haven't been able to go get it cut. Oh, it's breakfast time. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to get you something to feed these chickens and you'll see how they react. So,
Okay,
I'll be right.
I'm ready. Yep. Boy, that turkey, look at him. He is, oh, can you hear him? I think he knows he's on camera. Oh, look at him. Yep.
Okay, Bee, are
Okay.
you ready for that?
Okay, I'm going to stand up so I don't get attacked. Oh.
Eggs.
Yeah.
We haven't been gathering them every day, so I don't know how old they are. And when I don't know how old they are, I feed them back to the chickens. The chickens love them. But it's important, you must break them thoroughly. Otherwise, if they start eating their eggs and they realize what they're eating, they'll go eat the good eggs and they'll bust them open and eat them themselves. But if you break them open so they don't recognize what they are, then they can eat them and they love them. Are you ready for this? It's going to hit the ground right there.
Where? Okay.
Now they'll chase each other around. Look at that. One's got the piece over there and they'll run around chasing each other for us. They love them. See, look at them come running in here from the other pen. The one's got the big chunk over there and they're chasing each other around for it. Oh, here, this one's carrying a piece too, this gray one right behind you. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You ready for another one?
This is kind of like feeding mothers their young.
Well, sort of.
It's a little odd.
There's no youngs in here, though.
Okay, they're not real. Oh, there we go.
We all love eggs. Eggs are good. And you can imagine if they're making eggs every day, they're going to be craving whatever it is that's in the eggs. So,
You know, that's true.
you know, that's what it takes to produce them.
And they're not alive. We eat eggs all the time.
We do. They love them. And we had chickens all growing up, and we always kept all the eggshells in a bucket, and we would take them back out and feed the chickens with them every day. Because those eggshells are exactly what they need to eat so that they can produce more eggshells. It's really good for them. Another deal we supplement the chickens with so that they have a harder shell is oyster shells. We feed them ground up oyster shells, and that's what they eat too, so that they can produce eggs. If they start getting really thin or soft shells when they're laying eggs, you start feeding them something like that, and that'll help their shells. These have really hard shells too. These are good eggs.
Fun.
You can see the one right there that really had a bare butt, and all them feathers are growing back in it already.
Yep.
She's really filling back in.
Why is that one walking so funny?
I don't know. It's always done that. I don't know what that's all about. Somebody dropped that to us. Was that from Angel Inn? Was that one of them? Somebody just dropped that off actually a few weeks ago. They called and wanted to know if we needed some more chickens. And it walks funny like that. I don't know what that's all about. Always does it. It's a high stepper.
Yep. Huh, interesting. They walk funny anyway, but that's even funnier.
Yeah.
Huh, cool. Okay.
Well, should we go see some sheep and goats? And
Oh, yeah.
all sort of fun critters over
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Here's the cat.
Where? Oh, yep. Oh. And Elise.
Hi. This is
Aw.
Matt the cat.
God, there's something about animals that it's such a gift, you know, to us. All of them. They're just remarkable. Such great things to have
Big
around
old paws.
possible.
This is a good hunter. This thing catches mice and rodents, gophers, birds, all the time. Almost every single day there's something in the hay shed where they stay. There's something they've caught. We don't have a mouse problem around here at all anymore. Ever since we've had these two cats. Who's this one? Is this Matt Dillon?
Yep, this is Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, huh?
Matt Dillon, and Miss Kitty's the other one. We might meet her over here at the hay shed. But Matt Dillon's a good cat. He's a good hunter.
He's a friendly little guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the way you've organized here. You know, we come out to Dusty Trails all of the time and have cookouts and for our horse camps that we do. And he's got like little houses that he has set up here. It's awesome.
This is the one we call the party room. So we'll have tables and chairs and stuff set up in there. A place to get out of the weather if it's a little breezy or just out of the sun, get in the shade. Have a sink set up here for washing your hands and that kind of stuff. And then our campfire. But yeah, we've moved everything over here out of the big trail. We have lots of firewood for the whole summer, as you can see. And we have lots more piled out back there too.
Yeah.
We're ready for a big summer of campfires. Should we look in the hay shed and see if we can see the other cat?
Okay. Oh, yep, he's sleeping. Oop. Disturbed his sleep. Sorry there,
She's
Kitty.
laying up there in the hay, and you can see what the cats caught last night. Every single day, pretty much every day, there's something else in here.
Ew!
How do cats catch birds? I don't know, but they do it all the time. That's why she's so tired. She had to fly up there and catch that bird. You know how hard a cat has to flap their wings to fly? That would be exhausting, wouldn't it?
I think you're pulling her leg, Dusty.
No, I wasn't pulling anybody's leg. Okay, maybe hers. Look at that. Oh, she get frisky.
She's like, leave me alone, man. I'm sleeping.
You woke me up.
Yeah, I'd be that way too.
Yeah. All right. Oops, I caught a twine. So what are we seeing? Should we see the goats first?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, look at this, so cute. Look at that little one.
So, well, the little tiny one right here, this is Billy. This is our only Billy now. We got rid of our last Billy, which was Joey. And because we have some babies that are here from Joey, so we got us a new Billy. He's pretty young, but he's not going to get much bigger than this. And then we'll have some babies right here with Lucy.
Oh, yeah.
That one's Lucy.
No, that's Lucy. Oh, I thought you were bringing that one.
Yeah, well, who's this one here? I can't remember.
That's
Anyway.
what you
Oh,
wanted.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thelma and Louise was two of these. But anyway, so anyhow, that's where we'll get some new babies out of. Yeah, right here's, I can't remember which one's Thelma and
That's
Louise.
Thelma, yeah,
This is
Thelma.
Thelma and that one over there's Louise. Yeah, Louise looks, no, this one's Louise because it looks more like Lucy. That's how we did it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
This one is Valentine, who looks really rough right now because she's losing. It's springtime and she, just like the horses, is shedding. But we call her Valentine. Can you see the black heart?
Oh,
Right
yeah.
here on her?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we call her Valentine. But she's in the middle of losing her wool. And she's shedding on her own. We don't have to shear her because she's a hair sheep. Even though you feel her, you can feel that there's wool, but the hair part of it, this is the hair part of it. The hair part of it's shedding on its own. Now, all sheep have hair and wool both, but the hair sheep has a higher percentage of hair to wool ratio than the wool sheep. Now, the wool doesn't shed on its own, so if it's a wool sheep like Jacob and Sheldon right there,
Sheldon.
he's a Shetland sheep. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so we call him Sheldon.
There he is. Oh,
and,
nice
and
face.
Jacob is a Jacob sheep. You notice the 4 horns?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And some Jacob sheep can even have 6 horns. They'll have 3 sets. They'll have a third set that'll come up through from the top here.
Oh.
But that's the unique characteristic about Jacob sheep. And he's really docile, very nice guy. But his wool is crazy thick. We'll get around there and sink our hands into it. But it's beautiful hair. Look how it's like, it's almost blonde on the outsides out here and stuff. Really thick, long wool. Oh, hold it up here, buddy. Stay here for a second. And then it gets dark on the inside, but it's very, very deep. I mean, lots. And this whole body, he'll be a completely different feller when we shear him. He'll look half that size.
Do you shear him yourself, Dusty?
I do not. Years ago, I tried it a few times, but it's a job, and you have to really have good sharp tools for it. If you don't have the right tools, well, it's like any job. It's a lot more work than it needs to be, and it's hard on the critter. So
Yeah.
there's a guy just outside of town that stops by here and shears them for us. He's really good about it. But we were talking about the hair sheep right here, and the difference. Now this guy has hair too. He has wool, but he also has hair, but he has a lot more wool, and he won't shed on his own. This guy has just a little bit of wool, but the long stuff here is the hair, and he'll shed it off. And the reason we have hair sheep, or we raise hair sheep anymore, is because the wool doesn't have that much value anymore. One of the main reasons they used to raise sheep was not only for the meat, but they raised them for the wool. And you used to be able to, you'd shear your sheep and then you'd sell your wool, and that was a big part of your profit that you'd make money off of, was selling the wool every year. And then it got to where it didn't hardly even pay to shear them anymore. You'd be lucky to break even. I remember the old guy that used to come shear our sheep for us, and we would weigh all the wool when we're done, and he'd write us this big check, and he would pay us when he left. And then it got to where he would take the wool with him, and it was about a break-even deal. And then later it got to, well, I'll take it, but I'm charging you for shearing them, and I might give you a little bit of something for the wool, but I'm going to charge you even more. And then in later years, he says, I'll come shear your sheep, but I'm not even taking the wool. He wouldn't even take it. And we would stockpile the wool for a couple years in the hay mow of the barn, try to keep it dry, and then we'd have to haul it somewhere to a market to try to sell it. And you were lucky if it paid for the fuel to haul it there. And anymore, it just doesn't pay to do it. We're using other materials for producing clothes and all that. So we raise hair sheep where we don't have to have the expense of shearing them, and they shed on their own. They look kind of rough this time of the year when they're rubbing their hair off and it gets all over the fences and everything. You can see the fences. Look here, B. Right here where they rub. This is what they do. They walk along and they rub on the fences and rub all the hair and wool off as they're shedding this time of the year. So I think that's some sort of a Dorper, can't remember, cross sheep right there, but it's a hair sheep. Some of the others we have here, these are pygmy goats. These are actually a fainting cross. So when they get startled or excited, they will kind of lock up. Their body will get real stiff on them.
Yeah, they don't really faint, do they? They just lock up. Yep, and then they fall over. I think
Well, and yeah, they don't necessarily fall over. It's just they can't move. So I mean, sometimes they do, but they actually turn into statues. So they actually get really stiff and rigid. They don't faint and go limp. They actually get really stiff. Even just letting them out to grass, when they get excited, they take off running, all of a sudden they'll get stiff and then they can't move anymore. Or they can move, but it's really stiff and rigid and they have a hard time traveling.
It's like a robot.
Yep, very robot-like. And it was just some sort of a freak accident for people crossbreeding and coming up with something. They come up with that.
A goat on Facebook Live today. Who would have thought?
Yeah. I always thought Thomas was a goat.
No, we fixed Thomas. He was related to everybody.
Yeah.
People are responding. They're like, oh my gosh, chickens. I'm learning so much about farm animals. What fun.
That's great. Lots of different kinds of goats. This is a boar goat right here, this big feller. Snoopy's his name. And Sprinkles is the tall brown one there. I know a few of their names. Most of them we can come up with. That black one right here. The big black one right there, that's Tumnus. He's got the white ears. What's this show that reminds everybody of?
Narnia.
Narnia?
Yeah.
Narnia.
Oh, Narnia?
Yeah.
His mom is Lucy.
Yeah.
So he's Thomas.
Why does it remind us of Narnia? Because he's a black goat?
There's a goat on there that has the ears like that.
Oh.
The character that's like half goat, half human.
Oh.
His ears, yeah.
He's half goat, half human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at these odd little horns that are growing out of this goat. They're like flat ribbons.
Oh, yeah, they look like ears, kind of, but yeah, that's interesting.
Odd little things, huh? Well, let's go see some donkeys and ponies, shall we?
Okay. Goodbye, everybody in this pen. See ya. So whenever you're around horses, you often are around livestock. So it's kind of fun, it isn't always just about horses. There's cattle and all different kinds of things, raising chickens or being in a farm situation.
You know what I was thinking about, Bee? You're going to be here next week when we do this.
Yep.
We could do something totally different and go over to the ranch.
Ooh.
We've got a couple hundred head of baby calves. All the ewes have baby lambs at their side. And
oh, that'd be awesome.
Out in the pasture, it's beautiful.
Okay.
Right now.
Sounds good to me.
Anyway, this here is Rue.
Aw.
And this is a dwarf pony. So her parents were actually about the size of this here horse. is what I'm told anyway. I haven't met her parents, but I was told that her parents were actually closer to being the size of Peanut right here. But she is a dwarf.
Okay, so let's get this. There's Dusty, and there's Dwarf.
Isn't that something?
And it gives you the idea of size there.
And she is full grown. She will not get any bigger than this. She's been full grown for a couple of years now.
How old is she? 4?
She's about 4 years old, I believe. Yep.
Okay, I'm getting some responses about the baby calves. Everybody wants to see the baby calves
Yeah.
next week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that. So this little horse, this horse's hair, of course, she's shedding right now too, and crazy. But she's almost like it's wool. It's not wool, but it is a lot like that. It feel and the texture of it's a lot like wool. And she will not shed this all out like a regular horse will. She will not shed it all out. We have to actually shear her as well.
Oh, really?
And then when we do, her her colors, so her white blanket and the individual spots will show up very defined. And she's super cute. Really changes the look of her. So we'll maybe get her sheared here in the next couple weeks if we can get a hold of that guy to come give her a buzz. Actually, this one we buzz ourselves, but so we could do that. But her name is Rue, and dwarfism, usually there's different imperfections in how they grow. Most of them don't live very long at all. They'll die right away because they've got big organs and a little body. There's all sorts of complications. One of hers, she's actually on the dwarf spectrum, is very, very near perfect. She's in very good shape. But one thing she has is a severe underbite. Look at that.
Ooh.
Those teeth don't line up at all. But that doesn't seem to bother her much. She stays plenty fat. In fact, a big problem with ponies in general, is that they'll overeat. And so she doesn't have a problem on putting on weight. We have to actually limit what she eats. And when we first got her, the vet had recommended that we don't turn her out on green grass at all, and that we limit how much she eats, and that we use just straight grass hay, no alfalfa, no grains, nothing, because they'll founder very easily. They're very sensitive to overeating, and will cause far more health problems for them. And so we've tried to be very careful about how we feed her and what she gets to eat, which I think has paid off because she's stayed very healthy. She's a very healthy little horse for a dwarf. But she's super cute. The little kids, even 4 and 5 year olds, can lead her around and go trotting across the field with her. And she's super cute. Elise, you want to show her how she trots?
Sure.
All right, Rue. Sometimes she gets excited and she starts bucking and kicking while she runs. Isn't that cute? Sometimes Elise gets excited and starts
bucking and kicking, jumping up and down.
So that's Rue, and her name came from the little tiny boy, is it?
It's a girl.
Little girl.
Hunger Games, yeah.
off of Hunger Games, which I've never seen, don't know anything about it, but evidently there's a little tiny girl on Hunger Games.
13.
No, and her name was Rue, so that's where that name
Oh, Rue, got ya. Yep.
But Rue is a female, so she's a little mare pony, dwarf pony. Next we have over here is Peanut. We better introduce him because we're going to run out of time.
There's so much to see.
Peanut is a Welsh pony, and she is a old mare. She's getting pretty old. Let's look at her, how long she is in tooth. Look at that cute little nip she has on her nose. We talk about she's got a little faint star and a nip. That's what that's called right there. Oh yeah, she's actually not that old, but see these grooves in her teeth that come from the gum line down? They're reaching all the way to the end of her teeth. So she's getting up there. She's probably, I don't know, she's probably 10, 12 years old, something like that, I would guess. But she's got a brand. I don't know what that is. That was on there when we got her. Looks like a kind of a cross is there and a smiley face, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I don't really know what it is. I don't know if it's supposed to come across here. I don't know what that is.
It looks almost like an H or something when you add.
Well, yeah, if you just do that. Doesn't that look like or is that just the hairs run that way? I don't know. if you ever really want to check out a brand well, you just you shave the hair down. You don't shave it to bare skin, but you shave it short, and then you can see more defined what it is. But it's an H with it running.
Looks like a rocking H.
Crossways, past it ways, yeah. Oh. Anyway, that was on there when we got her. When we picked her up, she actually had a colt at her side, and they wanted us to take her and her colt both, which was super cute, but we chose not to. We didn't need to have another little nuisance around. One was enough.
Elise is enough.
Yeah. But look how fat she is. She stays. They just don't take much feed at all, and they can overeat. But Peanut's fun. The kids ride her some. She's fun to lead around. She's super ornery. She's the first one to get out every chance she ever gets, and just kind of a naughty spirit about ponies in general. They just really are.
I sometimes feel like a pony.
Yeah.
You know, I overeat. I'm a little naughty.
Anyway, so we believe she's a Welsh pony. And this is a donkey. His name is Jeff.
Oh, Jeff's been around for a while.
Jeff has been around for a while. Jeff actually has been here longer than I have.
Yeah.
He was here on the state property when I got here. And the story goes that when the state used to do horseback rides here, way back, like 26 years ago, whatever it was, that they would bring horses down from the Shadron State Park up there at Fort Robinson. They'd bring a few horses down here to use during the summer to do horseback rides, and then take them back up. One of the horses was really old. Checkers?
Yep.
Checkers was his name. And he got left here because they couldn't ride him or use him anymore, so they just left him here on display just for people to watch and see. But he was out here running in the pasture by himself, and they felt sorry for him and wanted to get him a friend, and so somebody donated this donkey and left him here, and so those two hung out together. When I got here, Checkers was in really, really bad shape. He was just very, very old. We couldn't use him or do anything with him anymore. So they took him back up to Fort Robinson State Park, where he passed away, like within the week after they took him up there. But they left Jeff here, wanted to know if I wanted him, and so I kept him. Of course, at the time he was a jack. He's now a jick. I'm totally making that up. I don't know what the term is for that. We had him fixed. We had him castrated. So he's more docile, less aggressive. And we don't want him breeding the ponies and the horses and things. So, and he didn't have a name. I just named him after my oldest brother. My oldest brother's name is Jeff, so that's where that came from. And he really appreciates that.
I bet.
So, we've rode him. He's actually went the full 3-mile loop on a trail ride a few times. Other than that, not much to him. He's got a really strange feel. Feel his hair like weird stuff here. B.
Oh, yeah, it's like coarse almost.
It's
like,
very coarse.
yeah,
Isn't it?
it's not like hair, like softness. It's like
Yeah.
coarse.
But it's not like Rue, where it's like woolly and super soft and fluffy. It's very coarse.
Huh, interesting.
And it's shiny and underneath, but it's like he's got split ends.
Yeah.
And it's super coarse. But it's not real long either. I don't know. It's very thick. It's odd.
His mane is
And they're
more horse-like.
Yep. And their manes will never grow out. This is what their manes are like all the time. Just like their little tail, which we call them broomsticks. They're just like that's all the donkey's tail will ever get to be. They just don't get any fuller, thicker, or longer than that. But he keeps very good feet. His feet,
Yeah.
we never need to trim them or do anything with his feet. They stay in great shape all the time, which is what they're going for when they cross a mule with a donkey with a horse, and they get a mule. Is you get some of these characteristics that the donkey has, which is the very good feet. They're very sturdy, very sure-footed. They're actually super smart animals. And they say they have just the best memory because they don't ever forget anything at all. So once you teach them one time and then they know it for life. which can be good and bad, because when you do good things with them, they remember that. When you're not good to them, they remember that. So they remember all those lessons all their life. And speaking of a cross between a donkey, and a pony getting a mule, this right here is a mule.
Oh, how nice. A little mule.
A little mule. Now, this is a strange mule because of the ears.
Yeah.
Typically, mules have the big donkey-like ears. They're not quite as big as a donkey, but they're usually definitely bigger than a horse's ears. He actually just has regular horse ear size. So, very strange, but it is a mule. So we call him Kawasaki.
I wouldn't say those are normal horse ears.
You don't think so? They're a little bit.
They look a little large.
They are just a little bit bigger, aren't they? Especially if you look at Peanuts. Look how tiny Peanuts' ears
Yeah.
are.
Oh yeah, they're tiny. Excuse me, Jeff.
Yeah. Now when you say it like that and you look at these, those are huge. They're huge compared to these. These are just itty bitty little things. And those are considerably bigger. But compared to Jeff's, I mean, my goodness.
Wow.
That would make any bunny rabbit jealous. Look at them things.
I bet he can hear really well.
Oh my goodness, they're giants. You got big ears.
The better to hear you with, my dear.
So Kawasaki the mule, and he's a black one. And we didn't raise him. He's not out of those two. That was just a friend of mine called and asked if I had a use for a mule.
We're extending this Dusty Trails because it's so much fun.
Oh my goodness, we ran way over.
Yeah, we did, but it's so much fun. It's okay, no problem.
All right. Well, I'll make this kind of brief then.
Okay.
Here. This is Demacia.
Ooh.
It's a Portuguese name because he was raised by a Portuguese feller that taught him to drive, which makes him an ox. That's the definition of an ox, is any cattle, any bovine critter, no matter what breed, shape, color, anything, that is trained to ride or drive is an ox. So you see out there behind us, there's some Hereford cattle and Black Angus cattle. You take one of those cows or calves or bulls or steers or any of those, and you teach them to drive, which means pull a wagon, or ride, which we know what that means, and then you call them an ox. Traditionally, an ox was always a steer, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a cow. This does happen to be a steer right here.
I thought it was like a breed or something.
I know, everybody does.
Darn, I just learned something.
Yeah. So the breed of this fella right here is a Holstein.
Yep.
Now a Holstein, look at him. He looks like a black and white milk cow, right?
He's big too.
Yes. So Holstein cows, that's our most famous known milk cows. That's what we use to get all of our milk that we drink. Now this is the boy here, so we don't get any milk out of this feller, and he's been fixed or castrated, so he's no longer a bull. That makes him a steer, okay? So we have a Holstein steer. I'll call him right back.
Can you stand up next to him just to give us an idea how big he is?
So he is.
Look how big that is. Holy moly.
He is a solid 6 foot tall at the withers, which I am not quite, so he's taller than I am. And he is tremendously thick and deep. He is wide and deep this way. So when I, like the draft horses, those guys are big, but they're not quite as tall as him. He's 2 inches taller than Joe and Jim, our big draft horses. But when I put my saddle on the draft horses, I could use a 42-inch cinch, and it fits around those draft horses really nicely. It takes a 54-inch cinch on my big saddle to fit around him. And then my stirrups hang down here like it's a little kid saddle. It looks ridiculous, but Elise and I have both rode this guy. I think you and I are probably the only ones that have ever ridden him.
I think so.
But we have both ridden him several times. He's got a cart out front that he used to pull when he was younger. He's far too big for it now. I wanted to hook him to it, but the if I hooked him up like it should be, the wheels of the wagon would be about right here. It wouldn't be back behind him anymore. He outgrew it a long time ago. But Demacia, big feller, is super sweet, docile. You do have to be very careful because these horns right here that he uses, swings around, and he tries to get flies off and stuff. They're right at face level, so it's super dangerous to be up and close to him. But he is really sweet. He weighs over 3,000 pounds. And he's about 7 or 8 years old. 8 years old, maybe. Does he still have his tag in his ear over there? Oh, nope, he lost his tag. His tag had his birthday on it. Hey, buddy. He loves treats, so he'll come at you and be licking at you and sniffing you. And he likes to be scratched. He does not like you to touch his horns. So you notice that I point at him, I don't touch him, because he doesn't like that. And when you do that, he'll throw his head, he'll swing his head around. And he's just trying to knock your hand away from it. But when he does it, he could hook you with it. And that's dangerous. So, but he itches here. He gets itchy. So he'll rub on fences and trees to itch. But if you'll scratch him, it makes him feel good. He likes that. But he lets me do it because he trusts me. I've been around him quite a bit. Most people he wouldn't stand here like this for, and he gets more agitated. He'll start throwing his head around a little more, so it's very dangerous to be this close to him. But he's a super giant. And that tongue, oh my goodness,
look at
that tongue.
Oh, yuck. All righty. Well, thank you, Dusty. We probably better end.
All right.
I could stay here all day and look at these amazing animals. And we really appreciate you showing us our petting zoo. It was so much fun today. And maybe next week we'll go look at some baby calves. That'll be really fun. Okay. Thanks, Dusty.
Absolutely. Thank you. See ya, everybody.
See ya. Thank you, Elise. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
All righty. And just to remind everybody, we are doing some virtual programs, so make sure you check out the Girl Scout at Home website on our webpage at Girl Scout Spirit in Nebraska. And then you can also take a look at, we put these live videos, so if you didn't have a chance to watch the whole thing, sorry, we got a little long today, we had so much fun, that you can watch them at your leisure at a different time. That'll also be posted on our Facebook. Just to remind you also, the Bio Blitz is well underway. We had over 75 people register for that program. It's so exciting. And you can go out into your backyard. Unfortunately, the registration's done. But for those that did register, you are welcome to... today, I believe, is the day that Kat was telling me that you're taking your pictures and showing those. So I just wanted to remind you about that. And also, keep watching our websites for any changes as far as summer camps are concerned. We do have an Explore Your Camp online scavenger hunt that we have online. And then we also are coming up, you know, we did have to cancel our camporee. Really sad about that one. But we have a 2020 camporee at home program planned for you. We're just working on the final details of putting a packet together. You can register for that. We'll have that information coming to you. And then you'll receive a packet in the mail which talks about how you can make a camporee in your own home. And then we'll do some activities throughout the Saturday. It'll be the same dates, the 29th and the 30th of May. So save those dates for our at-home camporee, and anyone is welcome to be a part of that camporee. You can just you don't have to be a registered Girl Scout member. It can be anybody from across the United States. You can just register through our website to be a part of our at-home camporee. We're all in this together, so the more the merrier. All right, you guys have a good and a very safe and healthy day. Talk to you next week.